My fellow Gen Xers, we got shafted. Let me explain. At 39, I thought I figured out the retirement game, until I started seeing what was happening to other Gen Xers, and I realized that I had barely escaped a disaster that's destroying an entire generation. We're facing something that no generation in American history has ever faced. We're the guinea pigs for a retirement system that's completely broken. A 52-year-old friend came to me last week earning $85,000 a year with only $40,000 saved for retirement. Her 28-year-old daughter just moved back home because she can't afford rent. Her father needs $6,000 monthly for assisted living, and her company eliminated pensions before she even started working. This isn't just her story. This is happening to 70% of us who believe that we'll need a miracle to retire. The crisis is here, and we're facing it completely alone. I'm Jason. I retired early at 39 with over $1 million. But this video isn't about my success. It's about the unprecedented financial disaster destroying Generation X's retirement dreams and why we're the unluckiest generation in modern American history. By the end of this video, you'll understand why Generation X has a $467,000 retirement savings gap, how we became the first generation to lose both pensions and affordable health care, and the 3 critical steps that you must take right now to avoid becoming part of the 90% of Gen Xers who will never be able to retire comfortably. Whether you're 45 or 59, whether you're caring for parents or supporting adult children, whether you feel behind or completely lost, this affects every single one of us. Because unlike every generation before us, we don't get a do-over. Let me tell you about Linda, a 55-year-old accountant from Ohio. When she started working in 1990, her company promised her a pension that would pay 60% of her final salary for life. Seemed like a fair deal. Work 30 years, retire comfortably. But here's what happened. In 1995, her company froze the pension. In 2001, they eliminated it entirely. Linda was told to manage her own retirement through a 401k that she never even heard of, with investment options that she didn't understand, and employer matching that disappeared during every recession. And Linda's not alone. Generation X, born between 1965 and 1980, became the guinea pigs for the biggest retirement experiment in American history. We were the first generation to enter the workforce as traditional pensions were disappearing. In the 1980s and 1990s, when Gen X was starting their careers, companies were systematically eliminating defined benefit plans and replacing them with 401ks. The problem? 401k plans were never designed to be the primary retirement vehicle. They were meant to supplement pensions, not replace them. Nobody told us that. The result? The median Gen X household has saved just $40,000 for retirement. $40,000. That's supposed to last 20 to 30 years. If you're realizing that Gen X got financially destroyed by forces beyond our control, you need to subscribe right now. I share the brutal truths about retirement that can help you salvage what's left of your financial future. I have to tell you something that still makes me angry. The timing of the 2008 financial crisis wasn't just bad luck for Generation X. It was a targeted destruction of our wealth building years. I was 32 when it hit, right in the middle of what should have been my prime earning and saving decade. I watched my 401k lose 40% of its value while I got laid off from the best job that I ever had. And I was one of the lucky ones who figured out how to recover. Most of my generation never did. When you're in your 30s and 40s, those are the years that you should be accumulating the most wealth. Your kids are young, your expenses are manageable, your income is growing. These should have been our wealth building decades. Instead, we watched our 401ks lose 40% of their value while we're getting laid off, foreclosed on, and financially devastated. Baby boomers were closer to retirement, so they had time to recover. Millennials were just entering the workforce, so they had decades to rebuild. But Gen X? Yeah, we lost our most critical wealth building years to the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. The numbers are devastating. Gen Xers aged 45 to 54 had a median net worth of about $247,000 in 2022. That's actually less than baby boomers had at the same age in 2007, after adjusting for inflation. Think about that. Despite 15 more years of economic growth, we have less wealth than the generation before us had at our age. The 2008 crisis didn't just set us back, it broke our wealth trajectory permanently. Now, real quick, we want our channel to be a place where we can finally admit what we're all going through. Are you part of the so-called sandwich generation right now? How much are you spending monthly to support both your children and your parents? Are you terrified that you'll never be able to retire? Please, share your numbers below. There's no shame here. Just people trying to figure out how we got so screwed over by forces completely beyond our control. Your reality could wake up other Gen Xers to what we're really facing. Now, what I'm about to reveal about the sandwich generation crisis gets even more devastating. While we're trying to recover from 2008 and build retirement savings with no pensions, we're getting hit from both directions, our aging parents and our struggling adult children. Let me tell you about Mike, a 49-year-old Gen Xer in Texas. His 78-year-old mother needs assisted living, $5,500 a month. His 24-year-old son moved back home because he can't afford rent on his $35,000 salary. Mike's household income is $95,000, but he's supporting 3 generations. This is a sandwich generation reality. 71% of middle-aged Americans are caregiving for both children and parents. We spend an average of 37 hours a week on extra duties. That's nearly a full-time job. The financial impact is crushing. 23.5% of the sandwich generation caregivers report substantial financial difficulties. 66% feel stressed about affording the family's financial obligations. And 72% report making difficult financial sacrifices that impact their quality of life. But here's the part that will destroy your retirement. The average family spends $61,000 a year on caregiving expenses. That's money that should be going into your 401k, but instead goes into keeping your family afloat. And it's getting worse. With housing prices skyrocketing, 46% of parents now have adult children who've moved back home. These boomerang kids cost parents an average of $18,000 annually in additional expenses. Before I share the next brutal reality, I want to highlight something that actually gives me hope about our community. Recently, a Gen Xer viewer wrote to us, "After watching your videos, I finally had the hard conversation with my adult kids about financial boundaries. It was painful, but we created a plan where they contribute to household expenses while saving to move out. For the first time in years, I was able to put money into my retirement account." Stories like this remind me of why we need to keep talking about these impossible situations. We're finding solutions together. Now, in just a few minutes, I'm going to share the 3-step survival strategy that the small percentage of Gen Xers who will successfully retire use to overcome these impossible odds. But first, you need to understand why the government programs that you're counting on probably won't save you. Here's what's really terrifying. Gen X's biggest retirement worry isn't money, it's healthcare. We're the sickest generation at our age in American history. We have higher rates of diabetes, heart disease, and mental health issues than baby boomers had at the same age. We're also the first generation to face retirement without employer-sponsored retiree health insurance. The numbers are staggering. A 65-year-old retiring today can expect to spend $172,000 on healthcare throughout retirement. Long-term care can cost upwards of $100,000 a year. And the average cost of a private nursing home room is $128,000 annually. 25% of Gen Xers never even considered healthcare needs during retirement. Gen X is really seeing firsthand what long-term care can cost as their parents get older. It's bringing up some serious worries about how quickly assets can disappear. Now let's talk about Social Security, the program that Gen X is counting on to make up for our retirement savings shortfall. Here's the brutal reality. 85% of Gen Xers are concerned that Social Security funds will be significantly diminished by 2035, right when the oldest Gen Xers are turning 70. And we're probably right. The Social Security Trust Fund is projected to be depleted by 2035. Even if benefits aren't eliminated entirely, they're likely to be reduced by at least 20 to 25%. For a generation that already has inadequate savings, losing a quarter of our expected Social Security benefits is catastrophic. The average Social Security benefit is about $1,800 monthly. A 25% cut brings that down to $1,350. Try living on that when healthcare costs are exploding and housing is unaffordable. Meanwhile, we're still paying full Social Security taxes on our earnings, funding baby boomers' retirements while our own benefits are being cut. We're literally paying for their comfortable retirement while facing poverty on our own. What can we do about this? Well, step 1 is to start aggressive catch-up contributions now. If you're 50 or older, you can contribute an extra $7,500 to your 401k and an extra $1,000 to your IRA annually. That's $8,500 in additional tax advantage saving. The new Secure 2.0 Act allows those aged 60 to 63 to make even higher catch-up contributions. Use every penny of this. You have maybe, 10, 15 years left to accumulate wealth? At this stage, every dollar counts. Now step 2, and I hate to be the messenger, but you better plan to work longer. But strategically. See, the reality is that 70% of Gen Xers expect to retire later than planned, or not at all. But instead of just accepting this, make it strategic. If you need to, work until 67 for full Social Security benefits. Every year you delay retirement past your full retirement age increases your Social Security by about 8%. Working until 70 can increase your benefits by up to 32%. But plan for the possibility that you won't be able to work for as long as you want. 40% of retirees are forced to stop working earlier than planned due to health issues or layoffs. Step 3 is to set financial boundaries now. You can't save for both your parents, your children, and yourself. You have to choose priorities. Set limits on how much you'll spend supporting your adult children and aging parents. Create written agreements about financial support. If supporting others prevents you from saving from your retirement, you're creating a cycle where your own children are going to have to support you. And look, I get it. I know this sounds harsh, but it's a mathematical reality. You can't give what you don't have. Look, every generation faces financial challenges. But Gen X is facing a perfect storm that no previous generation has experienced. We're the first generation without pensions, and we got hit by the 2008 crisis during our peak earning years. We're caring for the longest living parents in history. We're supporting adult children who can't afford basic housing. We're facing the highest healthcare cost ever. We're losing our Social Security benefits. I mean, we're the experiment that failed. The guinea pigs for a retirement system that doesn't work. But knowing this gives us power. You can still change course if you act now. Even now as I'm sharing these strategies with you, part of me feels rage at what was done to our generation. We played by all the rules, we worked harder than any generation before us, and we got screwed over by forces completely out of our control. But I also know that giving up isn't an option. I mean, we're Gen X. We survived the Cold War, 9/11, multiple recessions, and a pandemic. We can survive this retirement crisis too, but only if we face it together and stop pretending that everything's fine when it's not. If you're feeling overwhelmed by everything that we covered and you need a step-by-step roadmap how to catch up on retirement, even if you're starting late, I put together a complete late-to-the-game retirement recovery guide. It breaks down exactly how to maximize your remaining years, prioritize your investments, and create a realistic plan that works with your Gen X reality. As a special thank you for being here and watching our videos, use the code word LATE, that's LATE, to get a special discount. You can grab the guide at the link down below. Generation X drew the worst hand in modern American financial history. We lost pensions, survived 2008, and now we're supporting everyone while saving for our own uncertain future. But we're also the most resourceful generation alive. We can survive this retirement crisis too. I want to thank you guys for your honesty and courage in the comments. I read every word, and your stories are shaping what we cover next. If this video opened your eyes to the reality of Gen X's retirement nightmare, subscribe for more honest advice about navigating financial challenges that no previous generation has had to face. And remember, you're not alone in this struggle. Our community is here to support you. We may be the unluckiest generation, but we're not giving up. It's time to fight for the retirement that we all deserve. Thanks for watching.